just absurd.
He got very fed, and as the space did point out, there were some mistakes that allowed it, but it was just, again, it was just like another launching platform for the Aatrox to ascend even further. So will there be any focus in the draft? We do know that the Quantum Freaks and CV Max a little bit stubborn in the drafting, saying, well, guys, play it better this time. So
do it the same, but better.
We'd like some focus on the Aatrox. Just ban it away. You picked red side. I'm not sure why, but if you're going to, ban Aatrox.
Okay. It's going very similarly to last draft.
Please?
No, they did first pick it last time. I think they'll do it again.
Same ban so far.
Bans. This is the one, right? You can switch the Nico ban to the Aatrox right here, and everything will be different. Yeah, well, you got what you wanted.
Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, actually, I've got some notes here. Could we have expected this? Oh, this is the Game 1 draft where the exact same thing I guess they're just running it back.
Yeah, just play it better. But
just don't die a single time to Aatrox.
Yeah. Just play it perfectly so that Zeus can do nothing in the game, and you should be in a fine spot.
Yeah, Duty took too many tower shots. That was the problem. You know,
that must be it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Now, jokes aside, Quantum Freak's execution, it wasn't perfect, right? It was pretty far away from perfect. So, you know, as Wolf was saying on the space, and this time they're even going to
I think
prioritize the Xerath and not pick the Kai'Sa.
The theory behind it is if they leave the Xerath, it'll definitely get banned. I mean, the Kai'Sa will probably get banned here, but if they're so focused on making this composition with the lockdown plus Xerath working, you probably just have to take the Xerath here. Now, we saw one example of the Xerath kind of working, and that was kind of it.
Why are you banning Nautilus then? That was one of the key pieces to make the Xerath work.
Look, I don't have the answers, man.
Yeah, me neither. I've been casting these drafts for many, many years.
But yeah,
I
even
still
like,
don't have the answers.
It's interesting as well that T1 ban Rakan themselves. I mean, that's probably a response to the Nautilus, right? Which makes more sense. They don't ban the Xayah this time, though. Interesting.
Yeah. What do they mean by this? Also, maybe they just pick up a Zeri for themselves and try to deny it away, but then you're leaving the Xayah available for Guma.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is the plan here? Do they pick the Xayah for what? Because it's strong? Doesn't go very well with your comp. Viego.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're thinking that. I mean, I'm not sure how. I guess the Viego would make sense because it felt like they were getting that initial kill, but didn't have the follow through in the fight. So maybe T1 thinking Viego would be good adaptation. So after you get that first kill, you have the momentum in the fights. That kind of makes sense to me. And also maybe the plan from Quantum Freaks is to put that role support, given that they've been banning a lot of these supports out here. They will go for the Zeri this time. I think Guma can go, Kai'Sa or Xayah, both work. We'll see what he opts to go for in this situation.
Yeah. Another thing we have been seeing a little bit is trying to go for kill lanes with Lucian. Lucian Braum was the worst version of that. But, yeah, you can just pick the OP Kai'Sa. Going to pick up the Alistar this time. And Kai'Sa Alistar will be the lane, trying to target out what seems to be just a Rel in general, but also could be in the bottom lane.
Does this force Quantum Freaks to put the Rel in the jungle? I honestly think like the lane matchup between Alistar and Rel isn't actually that bad. Like, I think it's definitely playable. So.
Uh-oh, we got smiles.
Yeah, I think this makes Braum pretty good and Alistar pretty good into the composition T1 have. So favoring a better matchup in the bot lane in return for putting the Rel into the jungle, which I don't think Rel in the jungle was really the issue in last game. I don't know. I don't think draft was really the issue in the last game.
Not really, no.
Maybe that first pick T1 we're able to have.
Again, yeah, that definitely is a sticking point. Everything else, I'm like, okay. I mean, I can kind of see where you're going with this, but yeah, giving over the Aatrox twice in a row.
Yeah, and also we saw Quantum Freaks kind of losing out in the poke wars because of the shock blast. Now there's a Kai'Sa as well. So, and on top of that, you have heavy AD solo lanes, like with a lot of damage output. So Gumayusi will be going the AP build.
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying. So now you have to dodge the Shock Blasts and the Void Seekers?
Yeah, I mean, as the game comes along, it kind of feels like T1 were given the Omega Exodia draft on 13-14. That's what I would say. They get Aatrox, but not only that, they get Maokai, Jace, and Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
And Alistar is like, he's quite good.
Yeah, I feel
still.
like...
I mean, he's good.
You know, it's early to call it, because it's day one. Savior's one of the patch. But maybe in like a few days, we'll look back at this draft and be like, how was that even possible?
I don't need a few days.
You ready to call it now?
I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready now. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a fair statement.
Maybe if they got Nautilus as well, that would make this like the best.
I think Alistar in the matchup's pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of positives. So I think from what you're saying, you're leaning towards T1 a bit on the draft. Just a tad, just a smidge.
Yep. Yeah. Let's hop on the rift for game number 2. I hope that is Bull Mom, actually. Because if it's not, I mean, I don't know. A lot of passion.
You know what? Any Quantum Freak fans watching, that's what you have to live up to. That's the standard that has been set. And it's pretty high. It's a pretty high bar. Oh, Bulldog, I think he landed the initial skill shot.
Yeah,
Got that little bit of first strike gold.
All right, let's go to game 3.
Money in the bank. I'm pretty sure he went Comet last game.
How much first strike gold do you think he got?
5. Well, you get the 5 by standard, so maybe like 8, 7. 7. I'm gonna say 7.
But it's rank 1 W, right? So.
Oh,
he did it again. 6. Yeah. 6 seems to be about right.
Yeah, you don't get much. This early in the game, you don't get much gold from like the percentage of the damage you deal. It's mostly like just rocking the 5 gold constantly.
Unless you're Annie.
True.
That's a different story. Anything interesting here? We do have Scorch once again. No futures market for Bulldog. Just pretty standard kind of Korean pro gamer stuff.
Yeah, I think the one issue I have here is that Quantum Freaks really need to be getting on top of the backline of T1 is super important, and it's going to be so much harder this game when you don't have so much engage and you don't have the Nautilus and the Rel, right? Braum obviously far more defensive in that regard, so...
But no, it's engage Braum with Qmax.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You should know this by now.
It hits me so much every time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It is kind of interesting. I mean, you don't have to play extremely aggressive. It's not quite the same version of the draft from game 1. The adjustments kind of made it so that, okay, we do have some later game scaling and some ability to play just kind of front to back and protect the Zeri and Xerath with this composition. So if you're looking towards the positive aspects of what happened in this draft.
I just think it's going to be really hard. You'll set up to fight and you'll just get spammed with projectiles until you have to recoil. And then you won't really get to fight, you know. Assuming T1 play out in that manner. But I think something we can look for is maybe some early momentum on the back of like the Rel ganks are strong. We're seeing a repeat of that top match, but this time Dudu hasn't taken a tower hit yet. So
yeah,
that's an improvement.
It is. He's doing just fine.
He's learning.
It's level 3. And the mid lane going, you know, just about as well as it did in game 1.
Honestly, going better for Bulldog, I feel. More skill shots a little bit landing, it looks like, you know? This is nice. We get a repeat solo lane, so we can just very much analyze every second that goes by.
Yeah, every difference. As, okay, gonna hit the Q3, but Dudu is in behind.
He still has his W.
Is using the minions.
Wait, he still has his W and he didn't use it.
Yeah, it's not that strong of an ability, right?
He could have just walked up and powered W. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a top laner, you know.
True. You have some games of Renekton support, though, on your 5th ult. I saw them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta practice these things.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure you know the tech.
It's, you know, it's a really good lockdown champ. It's all about those engaged supports nowadays.
Yep. Just CC them. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
I also feel like one thing is that we haven't really seen the impact of the Ghost nerf because everyone's been taking cleanse because it's super high value. But it'll be interesting to see how that actually ends up impacting the meta, particularly for champions like Zeri, who can end up being like really reliant on it.
Yeah. I just feel like cleanse is just really good in this case. So, as you're mentioning,
is really good.
It's very good in general. But
imagine if they just removed cleanse, like how broken Leon
and blast plants. That way we could actually get action in the game again.
You're pitching it still.
I remember when you know, stuff used to happen in my League of Legends. Back in my day.
Old man shakes fist at Cloud.
Yep.
See, that one pretty good because this time you used his W. So
that helps, yeah, it does. You definitely want to use that when you're trading.
That's the difference maker in this situation.
This time, Faker did not have enough to go for Merc Treads end a tier, so just Merc Treads, a longsword, end a tier.
Yeah, and Bulldog's got an early reset off, but didn't get the Lost Chapter, but still has his TP up and available. So if you can trade heavily, get the reset in, and then TP back the Lost Chapter, be pretty good. We do see Oner spotted an award here. Could we get a 3v3? Bulldog has ult, by the way, already.
We definitely could. Trying to get in onto the Maokai, but the crash down not going to land. Does poke him with the spear, but trees don't generally care about that. So
yeah, you need an axe on a tree. I think, you know, just poking with a spear, sap will come out, and that's about it.
Yeah, maybe. You have to poke it really hard.
Yeah. Not the best engage.
Oh, okay. Keria gonna get Taeyoon back in. That camera work was also pristine. Taeyoon in a lot of trouble. Used both summoners and still was not able to get away. As now Oner looking for one more twisted advance. Probably will have enough, but the pulverize is enough. Keria does take a third shot, but it doesn't matter. It's 2 kills for the T1 bottom side of the map, when in fact Oner picked up both kills.
Yeah, really solid engage, and the fact that Taeyoon and Andal were on top of each other means you get the double pulverize. Oh, Faker went in 1v2.
Yeah, trying to make a statement. Says
this is the last game.
This game is about me.
Yeah. He sees those 2 kills picked up in the bot lane. He's like, no, I need the POG. I need to make things happen.
This is my return to League of Legends, not Guma, Keria, and Oner.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's establishing himself.
Yeah.
Re-establishing himself.
Interesting angle to go for that. As you did mention, teleport advantage to Bulldog. It's not as punishing as a top lane, but it's still definitely a big thing. And Bulldog is going to be able to just take that trade and take Faker's flash and then just teleport back to lane.
Nice. Gotta see some Maokai clearing.
Yeah. I'm glad we get a little bit of this in the game, yeah.
Just like a little segue before we go to the replay. But yeah, really nice from Keria. Make sure you can get both of them in this situation so that Andal can't help out and defend. Andal also shielding, I would say, a suboptimal direction is how I describe it. And then the cooldowns come back up to get the follow-up kill. So really nicely played by Keria there. And because he got the Q flash and then headbutted Taeyoon back, there was just no way you could escape. I think if you went for a combo there, then definitely a chance that Taeyoon gets out. And Keria is just, he's really setting a message here.
You know, the space they were talking about, all that mid-pressure that was coming in, it doesn't feel like the mid-pressure is really what allowed him to go for that play.
Yeah.
But certainly Keria is looking much better here in this series so far.
Faker said, Keria all in now. And then he did it, right?
I see.
If Faker wasn't there, then that play couldn't have happened.
I get it. All right.
Yeah. It's called shot calling. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Well, apparently they haven't for a while, but things are going well. And, yeah, I mean, as was also mentioned, Quantum Freak's on a very large losing streak. I think it's 8 games in a row and 8 matches, I should say.
I think I said earlier that they were like 4-2 and they started losing. They were 4-4.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty good.
It's still quite good.
What they are now.
Well, 8 losses in a row will do that. And here comes Keria. Now he's level 6 with Moby Boots, so he is ready to party.
He is. Oh, he's going for the big flank.
He is so fast, like he could just sprint at them in the top side. So you know what? Young Jay and Duda, they just walk away. They're like, well.
Hey, look, there's 2 level 6 supports, except Young Jay's not a support. He's a jungler.
Oh.
He's the same level as Keria.
Support champion.
Support champion, true. Every champion's a support champion when you think hard enough about it.
Even Renekton.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, at this point, T1, they haven't taken that Drake on the bottom side with the advantage they got. They're probably just backed, but instead they just group up. They get Keria up in the top side, level 6, able to secure a Rift Herald for free. And we'll see if they can get both objectives from here, as I don't think they're really in a position to take the straight Guangdong Freaks from here.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, here we go. The Nature's Grasp as Dudu doesn't even find a way out of that one. Doesn't even elect to flash until he gets under the turret, as does do a nice combo here onto the tree, but it doesn't matter as that sword is quite long. Zeus is going to use it to cut down the Croc.
Yeah, and so you know how last game, Guangdong Freaks got the edge in top lane, and then T1 countered. This is like that, except they didn't get the initial edge.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it's just gone worse. And now Zeus he's hit the, kind of the, I think from what I've assessed of the new Aatrox, if you get one kill, you just win the game. That's what we saw in the last game. So he's ticked that box.
He definitely has, and it's been mostly free lane, as another engage going to come in here onto Taeyun. Taeyun just kind of shrugs that one off.
Yeah, a lot of confidence not to go for the flash. Bit of unfortunate timing from Keria on the dash, but Taeyun playing with fire on that one.
Faker low on mana here, just going to back away. They were trying to set up for a play, as now we are proxying waves once again as Supercharge comes in, but Gumayusi still on the run, does have to flash as Ondel just make his way in with the engaged Braum, trying to set it up. And that was their one opportunity, because now Keria is looking for the flank.
Yeah, and Oner's here as well.
X-Flash on cooldown, just trying to get that one back up. Oner biding his time. There's no vision over here for Guangdong Freaks' bottom lane, as they're just going to call it off. They say, well, we can just get this Drake instead. There's no mid laner right now.
Yeah, I mean, Bulldog did recall then, but I think it's kind of a good call because...
Oh, okay, well.
I think diving a Braum, risky. Especially if Bulldog is in range to ult. Could very quickly go badly. So they'll just take the dragon, satisfied with that one. And Youngjae not really having much impact this game, especially compared to Oner. Trying to find a window into the bot lane here. And you need to start making something happen for Guangdong Freaks.
Faker's really trying to put on that pressure. And that is, again, the one thing that he really has been able to do in the games, has been put on the mid pressure. That's what you want out of this Zeus, especially when your opponent picks Xerath. And unfortunately is kind of losing the poke trades. The Rift Herald will be dropped in, takes out a couple of plates. Looks like all that gold did go over to Oner, though.
So he can fuel his sapling damage build.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, it's probably
Hey, Leandri's next. Right?
Probably not, sadly. Well, actually, probably for the best, to be honest. But, yeah. I think T1 already have a lot of these towers pretty low across the map. Mid's already pretty chunked out. A lot of damage on top. So I think, honestly, they can just be pretty proactive in making plays and looking towards his Herald in 2 minutes 20. Keria with those Mobies is kind of unleashed from bot lane. With the Shiv already picked up for Guma, very easy for him to wave clear and just play pretty independently even without flash. So Keria can just go where he pleases.
Yeah.
He's unleashed. He's out the pen.
Where he pleases is mid lane currently. Just hanging out, being a force on the map. It's really what you want to do with a lead like this. Is Kai'Sa will be fine. Just let her clear waves and press her auto Q over and over and over again. Now we do have Youngjae. He's still really trying to set this one up. Let's see if Guma sniffs this one out. He does have Keria down here for now, but not a lot of vision.
Don't walk up, don't walk up, don't walk up!
Yeah, there it is. Magna Storm comes down. The engaged Braum is in, but unfortunately, Braum is not very good at engaging, as the stun will get down onto Keria, who will sacrifice himself in trade for that. So a nice setup here by the Guangdong Freaks.
Yeah, really solid play. Oh, looking for a bit more though. Faker's moved down and Andal takes a lot of damage. QMax Braum didn't have his E available, so he wasn't able to block that.
Yeah.
But still a positive play from Guangdong Freaks. It kind of felt like the game was slipping away from them. As much as they don't get Gumayusi, yeah, they get a couple of plates, they get a kill onto the Zeri. All positive things. And now they're resetting, and a minute till Herald means we'll likely see both teams start to move members up to the top side of the map.
It's looking like it. Zeus keeps on engaging or invading, rather.
Yeah, it's just, again, if this was like another champ, it'd be a lot easier to layer the CC on Gumayusi, but he gets to flash out. They do make it very hard for the Alistar to play the game, because even with the ultimate, you're just going to get slowed and stunned constantly by the Braum, so they at least got something out of that one, even though they don't get the 2 kills they'd probably hope for.
Zeus just gliding around the mid lane. Looks like he's going to glide his way down to the bottom lane. So with his teleport, he's going to get in position to match his top laner. And Quantum Freaks, I know every team loves to fight over second Rift Heralds nowadays. It gives you a lot of pressure on the Drakes at a very critical time in the game generally. But I'm not sure if they're ready to fight this one.
Well, do you know what's the only way to find out? By fighting it.
When they fight in this game, yes, I do agree. Let's see if they do.
Yeah.
Certainly.
They are posturing for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course they are. Why did we even ask?
I don't know. Well, we do know that they are setting up for this one. We do have kind of a broken up Quantum Freaks. That Shock Blast is going to go wide. Faker has taken a bunch of damage. That's the objective given over to T1 already. As Oner, not super tanky at this point. You do see the flank from Aatrox. Zeus has a little bit of a target on Bulldog's back, but the rest of the team just going to take out Oner, as that one was not very clean from T1. But they do get the Rift Herald, as Quantum Freaks will take down the T1 jungler.
They get the Herald, which is the important thing. It was kind of a weird setup, because Quantum Freaks actually had better positioning for the fight, but also Taeyun was kind of just like hitting Herald so that Oner could smite it, which was a bit of a weird one.
Just helping out, you know.
Yeah, assisting T1 with their secure, but regardless, Quantum Freaks get a kill, but T1 get the bigger prize in the Herald. We can see the replay coming out here. So yeah, Taeyun just keeps hitting the Herald, even though their jungle is nowhere near. And he keeps hitting the eye as well, specifically. And then here, the thing is, Zeus is so far away, and he does find this flank onto Bulldog with a stun, blocks him, and it's only the tanks left in the mix. Like, Faker and Guma had to back away, so it was a very split and disjointed fight from T1. And I think because Zeus got stopped on his flank, he couldn't come into pincer, and it really meant that Quantum Freaks could enact their plan sooner.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a weird one.
I think the main thing is that we kind of talked about this in the last game, but T1's comp wants to be on the objective first, and it felt like they gave way too much space over to Quantum Freaks.
Yeah, and a nice little wrap around from both sides, but Zeus kind of removing himself from the fight. As now, speaking of being on an objective, Taeyun going to take out this control ward. And we do have a play for this Hextech Drake.
I just saw the nerfs in action. So Gumayusi autoed the wave, and it didn't kill the casters, and he had to press Q after that to kill the entire wave.
Oh no.
It's such a nerf, such a hit.
Not his Q.
I feel bad for him, you know. He has to suffer.
Yeah. Like the rest of the champions.
Yeah.
It's for the best. Well, let's see this. I mean, Quantum Freaks are going to be on this objective first, and they will start it up. They got Control Ward in the pit, a great setup. We do have a nice little flank angle here from Zeus, but it will be matched by Dudu, who's going to mark his target for now. The damage already coming in from the Aatrox, and Nature's Grasp is big. They get onto the backline, and immediately the Xerath is just gone. Who could have seen this coming? As Taeyun does have a nice position, but he's alone. It's a triple kill for the Kai'Sa, and Faker will pick up one. Perhaps a couple media votes on his way out, as that will be 2-1 smashing the Drake fight.
They just annihilate them, and this is a problem. It's so hard to protect this Xerath. As soon as he goes down, like the rest of the comp just crumbled around it. Taeyun did get a chance to ramp up, and just decimation in that close clump there. T1 finding a beautiful engage, will get the dragon, and are now 5,000 gold in the lead, and picking up towers across the map. Looks like they might be breaking that lose streak.
Yeah, it's looking pretty likely. I mean, as you mentioned, a couple of angles, Nature's Grasp, Xerath just useless in this fight.
Obliterated. Yeah. And then a beautiful knockback from Faker to interrupt the dash.
Yeah, like I said,
you
gotta get those media votes in early.
Oh yeah.
In the game, just to make sure. We'll see. But yeah. Kind of you know, if you're gonna fight something like that, you need to know that you have your flanks marked, and you can't just let
and also the ult
free
from
entry
Oner,
from T1.
No one blocked it for Bulldog, you know. So he got rooted, and then he was just dead. Because the thing is, because he got rooted, Kai'Sa could ult in, and it's just guaranteed that the Aatrox can get on top of you and land all the Qs. 6,000 gold lead in 19 minutes.
Yeah. No Baron
like,
yet.
So we thought in game 1, I thought maybe leaving the Aatrox open was a mistake. And then in game 2, they had to make it very clear that it was a mistake. So now we all know. Although, to be honest, you know, I'm saying that. I don't think Aatrox was really the issue there.
No, I mean...
But maybe Xerath, they can give it a rest. This is the 3rd time. It's looking like it's going to be 0-3.
Zeus trying to put on the pressure. Here's the Xerath gank coming in from the bottom lane.
Run, Bulldog!
Oh, no. Oh, wait! Okay, he's going to flash away. He should be fine. As the W.
Never mind, Xerath's broken.
Down. Xerath absolutely broken.
Hey.
Also, free Baron given over to T1. Although they do elect to not go for it, as TPs are available from Magnum Freaks.
Yeah, well, I just saw Xerath kill Aatrox. Therefore, Xerath over Aatrox.
He's going Rylai's again.
Oh, God. Is he just like allergic to doing damage?
You know, that used to be the old build, right? When they did interact with each other. Leandri's Rylai's.
I think it's just like you're like, I mean, I guess it's a little bit AP from Taeyun, but like you could just be doing so much damage here.
Yeah. You could be trying to dunk as hard as possible on the Kai'Sa and even the Jace, who's not going to have a lot of resistances.
Yeah, and also Xerath has really high base damages, so you get a lot of value from like a Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He'll be slowing him up. Here we do have the T1 Baron. It is being taken at 21 minutes. They spot young Jace, so Nature's Grasp just gets him out. It's a free Baron. Keria gets in the back line and delivers a free Zeri over to the enemy team. That's going to be the end of him. And maybe the end of this game, guys, is into the back line. Bulldog, that's a nice little shield from Anvil, but a flash will make it irrelevant, as that will be 4 kills over to the side of T1, as they will look to push top and mid.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get the Baron. They don't do it immediately when there's members. Congratulations to Guma. Yeah, I mean, Kai'Sa always a good one, pick up multiple kills. I feel like in that situation, they don't do the Baron immediately when they see 2 members bot. As you mentioned, the TPs were up. They simply wait for Zeus to respawn so he can be on a beautiful TP flank. And Quantum Freaks try to push up. The Maokai being piloted beautifully by Oner uses the ult to ensure that young Jay can't get in. And then they just capitalize. Very smooth sailing. Honestly, this game has felt super one-sided. And we can see here, like, the Oner ult stops Young Jay from getting in. And how is Bulldog supposed to position here? Like, he ults, and it just kind of guarantees that Zeus is going to be able to run him down.
Yeah, and you've got an Alistar in your backline, and then even behind the Alistar is the Aatrox in your backline. And eventually, I mean, again, we can talk about the draft all we want, and it was a huge gap to the side of T1 in favor of them, and they're using it very nicely. They're engaging onto that squishy backline. There's not really any protection here for Quantum Freaks. Braum is not going to do anything, and yeah, I mean, the game is essentially over. T1 not really being tested, I feel like, in their first series with Faker back, but I think, as you mentioned, nice little win to catapult off and kind of get some momentum.
This team needs to rebuild, right? If we're going to be real in terms of like the confidence, the momentum. This T1's been going through a rough spot. Oh, Engage comes in.
Yeah, they're trying to go for this one again, but the Maokai and the Jace coming together to get some huge damage down. Guys, this is so over. Like, it's 11,000 gold right now, 23 minutes into the game. T1 looks like they're just going to end it here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that Quantum Freeze can do in this situation. The ult's going to come out. Gumayusi dodges like all of consecutive hits not really coming in there.
And neither is Dudu. He's going to go down as, that's going to be the end of it. Flashing on top
Where does Zeri go?
Taeyun, he just disappears as Faker will pick up another media vote on his way out. We are done here, 2-0.